Welcome to the table. Grab a slice, it's hot. The Full Grown Pizza Podcast, serving thought-provoking plots. From UFOs to the unexplained, today we're talking Tic Tac Full Grown Pizza, where the stories align. A dash of mystery with every line. We're diving deep beyond the mundane, exploring skies and a UFO's name. Pie's still baking, the stories grow. Stick around, we've got more to show. Grab your slice, it's time to explore. The full-grown pizza has so much more.
All right, welcome back to the Full Grown Pizza Podcast. This is episode 33 and our first episode of the new year. So welcome everyone. If you're watching this live or watching it later, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the like button and share it with your friends. Leave a comment down below. Join the conversation. That's what these podcast episodes are all about. This episode is going to be on the Tic Tac UFO incident, and Mike is going to be taking us through that. Before we get started, though, make sure to check out Ugly Chews in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. They do all natural dog treats, and they have provided us with an affiliate link for them as well. So if you go to that link, it supports the channel, and you get a discount on some all natural dog treats. So make sure to go check that out. And whenever you're ready, let's get started.
All right, so we're going to talk about the Tic Tac incident. This was an interview by Joe Rogan as Commander Favor on episode 1361. Can you bring up this picture?
Yeah, just
so
pulled it
that's
up.
Commander Favor, and he does a really good interview. He goes into a lot of detail. So, I mean, this is just a cut and dry. So if you really watch the From a Horse's Mouth, then you should watch that episode. It's really, really interesting. So the Tic Tac incident happened November 14th of 2004 off the coast of Ensenada, California. So they're doing Navy exercises before they went over the Persian Gulf. And the ships that were involved were their USS Princeton, which is I think it's picture number.
Number 2.
Picture number 3 is the Princeton, and number 2 is the USS Nimitz.
Okay.
And those were all involved in this incident. So a bunch of ships, a bunch of airplanes, a lot of people saw it, you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah, seriously, if you look on those ships, there's like a ton of airplanes on them, right?
Yeah.
So, at least one of them.
They usually have multiple flights up at one time and stuff like that. So
yeah. So okay.
So they're doing the training, right? And Commander Favor gets the word that they're thinking about stopping the exercise because there's real world targets in the area, and they don't want to, have a mid-air collision or anything like that. So
right, okay.
And that's pretty big deal because they don't stop exercise for no reason. I mean, there's a lot of money, a lot of people involved. So
yeah, for sure. Well, I'm sure there's lots of planning that goes into it and stuff. Everything.
Yeah, I mean, they've been out there for a couple
training.
weeks.
I mean,
like
they've
that,
been preparing for this. So, like, yeah,
they're training for a real world war kind of exercise. So they want to get as much training as they can. So
right.
He's going to cut it out for anything. But anyway, they see these real world vectors in the area, and they ask Commander Favor to go check them out because they're kind of close,
Yeah.
And they were thinking that they were like drug runners coming off of Mexico, so they're just off Southern California,
Mm-hmm.
So he went to go check them out. He directed him west to get eyes on the aircraft or whatever it was in the area. And so Commander Favor gets close, and they see some white water, like something's under the ocean, like a big rock or something, You see that white foam or whatever, like waves going over it. So they see that, and he gets closer to it. He says that the object in the water was about the size of a 737.
Holy
It
crap!
was
Really?
about 110 feet long with a wingspan of 117 feet, and it was in a cross shape.
Whoa!
So
I
it's a
didn't
pretty big object.
realize it was that big. I was thinking it was just like a.
Now this is
I
just
don't
the
know. For some reason,
object under the
in
water.
my
This is
head,
in
I
the
had
Tic
it was
Tac.
thought it was a smaller thing, but
Okay,
that's kind of crazy.
so they see this thing in the water, right? Giving a bunch of water, and then they get closer and they actually see the Tic Tac hovering above it, like it was communicating with it or something like that. Like it was passing information back and
And
forth.
they're
Like
in
it was
like
some
an
kind
aircraft at this point, or they're in a
yeah.
ship.
Bring up
looking
that
over.
the airplane picture. Like that's what they were flying. They're flying Harriers or
Okay.
Hornets. Sorry, Hornets.
Okay, so they're in this aircraft.
Super Hornet?
They see the
Yeah.
thing
So these are
come
they're
up
in
out of
these
the
Hornets.
water.
Yeah. Well, they see this thing under the water with the white water going over it, like it's a. I mean, it's a big object under the water that the waves are going over.
Yeah.
And then they get closer and they notice that the Tic Tac is hovering above it. And he said it was buzzing back and forth like really, really quick. And the Tic Tac is actually about 40 feet long, which is about the size of the city bus.
So that's kind of what I was thinking. So that the Tic Tac was above them, and then you had something below them under the water. Okay.
Yeah, like they were communicating back and
Cross-shaped
forth or
thing.
something, or maybe
Yeah.
like that was like the mothership you want to say, and that was like the drone coming off it or something like that.
Yeah, weird.
Or some kind of communications going on between them.
Yeah.
Because it was hovering above it, moving back and forth really quickly, which was really strange to him. Because the way it was moving, he thought it was a helicopter at first, because it was going back and forth so fast.
Right.
But he didn't see any like rotor wash in the water. You know how you see the downforce from the blades in the water. And then when they got closer, they didn't see any rollers at all. So they started looking at it a lot more closer, and they saw that. Go ahead and bring the picture of the Tic Tac. The best one that we could find.
Oh, I didn't realize. I thought that was just for the thumbnail. I didn't pull that one. I didn't grab that one.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
you gotta know what a Tic Tac looks like, so.
Yeah, look at the thumbnail of the video. There you go.
That's a pill. That's not.
I know. It looks more like a pill. But...
Doesn't have a logo on it. Where's the Tic Tac logo?
Unfortunately, Tic Tacs are not just objects; they're an actual brand of mint, so we can't use that. So
it's like Velcro is actually a brand name. It's not.
Yeah.
Type of object.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway.
So they see this object, and Commander Fravor decides he wants to get a closer look at it. So he starts going down, losing altitude, circling around it, trying to get closer to it. And the Tic Tac kind of like notices him there and starts doing the exact opposite of what he's doing. So it circles back around the other way and starts gaining altitude.
So it's
so
like
they're flying
a
around
Mexican
like
standoff kind of thing where they're just
kind of checking each other out, but So they're flying around the circle, right? And then Commander Favor's like, I want to get closer. Forget the circle thing. So he just cuts across the circle, and he's going straight to where he thinks the Tic Tac's gonna like cross the circle. And as soon as he gets close to it, the Tic Tac disappears.
Whoa! Like disappears?
So, disappears.
Like poof.
He he asks all the other guys around him if they see it anywhere or anything like that. They don't see it anywhere.
Did they have any like sort of like radar, like they could detect this thing, or was it just like visible to them?
They only said it was visible. I don't know if they talked about it being on radar, but I know that the Princeton talked about they could pick it up on radar sometimes, these other objects, because they've been seeing them for a couple weeks.
Yeah. Oh,
and
really? So this is the first reported incident of this thing.
No, actually, when they got to the area, the Princeton told them about the objects, and they said, there might be a real-world collision, so mid-air collision, so be very extra careful and stuff like that about these things. So they've been floating around for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And so, I mean,
that's
pretty crazy that they just. Because I mean, the exercise was going on for a while. It's not just
it's not just a one-day thing.
Around. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like the drones were actually checking them out, looking at what they were doing, watching them.
Yeah, so do you think like the bigger thing was like the actual ship, and they're kind of trying to stay hidden while they have their little drones monitoring our military
probably like the
exercises?
command ship, and that was like the drones just checking everything out.
Yeah. I mean, it would make sense, especially if your drones can disappear. Like that's a good plan.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that so they go back to the water see if they can find the object under the water again, and like 30 to 40 seconds has passed, and they get a call on the radio from the operator of one of the ships that the Tic Tac was back at their cap point, which is like their meeting area for the exercise. It was like 50 miles away.
What
And it was
the?
like they
Really?
traveled 50 miles in like 30 seconds.
Wow.
Which is
Okay.
just crazy.
So do you think that it was the same one, or do you think it was a different one?
According to the story, he thinks it's the same one. So, I mean, it could have been the other one disappeared and another one popped out, but
Yeah.
I mean, I think these things probably have some kind of stealth on them, so they probably disappear whenever they want, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, if you're going to be sitting there surveilling, especially military areas, you want to be able to be stealthy and not be seen. So, especially
I'm
if
pretty
you have the
sure.
technology for it.
I'm pretty sure even nowadays we have like a similar kind of technology. I don't know. It could be fake,
We have
but I've
stuff
seen.
that makes it like hard to see. Like they have stuff
Yeah,
that
I've
has
seen like these kind of. I don't know exactly what it is, like a panel or something that makes it
Yeah.
really like.
They
It's
got some
almost
of those like on
transparent
planes where it'll
looking,
look
and
like blue sky underneath, so when they're above you, you can't see anything because it's just like blue sky.
Right.
It's like light benders. It just bends the light around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
something like
It bends the light around the object, and so it looks like you're just looking through it, kind of thing.
But obviously, this Tic Tac is using electricity to like
Right.
generate electric field to alter this visibility,
Hmm.
turn invisible, and to travel up to like 600 miles per hour.
Yeah, to be
Like
able to move that fast.
instantaneously too. For it to
Yeah.
go from like a stationary position where it's just kind of hovering there to all of a sudden it's going really fast, that's kind of crazy. You know, our planes
Yeah.
have runways for a reason. Like take.
Yes, the power.
Especially if you don't see any wings or any kind of propulsion on it either. You
Yeah,
know,
no
so-
wings.
Power of the Dark Pyramid.
So it's some kind of gravitational thingy that it's doing,
Force.
or something.
We
Yeah,
talked
that's
about
what,
this stuff
that's what
before
I think
about-
it's a gravitational kind of thing. Because if you think about it, well, another report they said is that they've been seeing these things go from like sea level to 50,000 feet like in a second.
Hmm.
So
It would have to be
kind of
a gravitational force thing for it not to have to generate any thrust to lift itself up.
Right.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
it would be seen on the water surface.
Yeah, it would have to use some kind
That's
of.
true too. I mean,
Right.
if it's blowing anything out, you'd see some kind of wash from it, you know?
Right. Yeah, because
So,
if there's no
mean-
propulsion, no force or whatever, it's quiet. There's no propellers. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, kind of crazy.
And like the flare will show you later, there's no heat signatures either, which is interesting.
Weird. What the heck?
Yeah.
So whatever they're doing, however they're using to power this thing, it doesn't even have, a regular engine or anything like that we're familiar with. Like that's kind
Yeah.
of crazy.
It's like technology we don't understand, but
Yeah.
so another thing about the cap point is it's not something they just broadcast to everybody, tell everybody where the cap point is. It's like, your cap point's here, it's for your flight, so
Yeah.
how did it know where they're supposed to be going or stuff like that? So maybe
Right.
it has what kind of surveillance technology do they have that could get into something that's considered secret during the exercise,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that if you can manipulate gravity and not generate any heat and go invisible, finding out where somebody's going to meet up through their communications is pretty simple.
Yeah, and I'm thinking like if they're gonna put in the effort to monitor us like visually with a Tic Tac drone, they're probably gonna hack into our communications as well. They're not just gonna monitor us visually; they're gonna monitor us audibly too, so
Yeah.
they know what we're doing. They actually know what's going on.
Try to
That
get as
makes
much
the most
information
sense
as
to
they
me.
can.
Yeah.
They're using our own tactics against us too. I mean, we obviously, not obviously, but we usually just like we want to scout an area, we send the drones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready to fucking that
Right.
get shot down and somebody else lose a
But
life.
does that make you think that there's not any biologicals in them because of how? I mean, if you think about it, if you're going from sea level to 50,000 feet, unless you have some kind of anti-gravity technology that negates the G forces, then anything biological there would be destroyed.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I don't
So I
know, but I
wonder if
mean,
they're
I'm
like just machines, or is there biologicals in there that have that technology to negate that, or what?
well,
I
the
think in
big ship under the
the big
water
ship probably
makes me
has the
think that it's
organics in
just a
it,
drone, yeah. And
and
if
the
that's the
Tic Tac is the
case, you
drone.
know,
And why do they need to make it so big? I mean, that's what how big the technology takes. Or
Maybe.
I don't
I mean, it's
know,
40
yeah.
feet long. That's the size of a bus.
I mean,
Why would you make it that long if you aren't are that big?
the
If you're,
first computer took up a whole entire room, so
Well,
I mean, but this is
depends on
high
what it's
tech
monitoring, I
technology.
guess. Like, is it, you know, if it's monitoring all our communications and it's
But
tracking a whole
then
bunch of
you
different
got to think
things
about
and
how it counteracted Commander Favor's actions. I mean, would that be AI controlling it then,
yeah, maybe they've got a AI.
or some kind of remote control from the main station, or the main ship?
Yeah, maybe there's like a defensive like operations kind of like system, security system or whatever that takes over. Like I don't know, think about freaking, you know, in sci-fi movies the ship usually has some kind of AI that just like does stuff around the ship. I would imagine that maybe it's got something like that that kind of, you know, takes over in security situations or, you know, has a programmed like response of what it should do. And maybe
Yeah.
mirroring, you know, just kind of like doing the opposite of what the other person does is part of that, you know.
or
And
think
then
back to like
then it
the
escaped when he got too close to it and
Yep.
project
just took off.
Montauk, where you went into the future, where it's like a utopia, is because AI took over all the other stuff for everybody. So why wouldn't it operate their military or their scouting stuff?
Oh man, what if they're just holding out for AI to get to a certain point, then they just take over our AI and that takes over the planet and they don't actually have to do an invasion or anything like that. They just take over
Maybe
our AI or
just biding their time and
they
waiting.
merge their AI with our AI.
Are they waiting until we
And
merge our AI with our military, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we have the
yeah,
military
once
now."
our
What
AI
if?
has tentacles and more things, and once it has become more
I'll
ingrained
raise you
into
one
every
thing.
aspect,
What if they already did and we are in an algorithm?
it's possible that they are training our AI this second, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, if they can
But,
get into our communication systems, why can't they talk to AI without us knowing about it?
yeah, I mean, I'm sure they do. I mean, that would be the play, right? You don't have to send
Yeah.
any of your own people. You don't have to send any ships. You don't have to anything, you know, at least minimal, like a skeleton crew.
What if
I
this
mean,
civilization just waits around for planets to get too close to AI, and then they just take over the AI and take over the planet? That way they don't have to do any
yeah,
battle or anything like that.
So they land
exactly.
on the planet on a big ass ship that's almost the size of an island, and they sink into the ocean, and they just chill there and wait for like the intelligent life to get close to AI, and then they take over the
I
AI.
mean, if they're immoral, then time doesn't mean anything to them. So maybe they just took a nap
True.
or something.
True.
I said like
And, but I
the tall
mean,
grays are immortal. They're like
Yeah.
time is nothing to them.
well, so
Like yeah,
okay, let's tie this into everything else that we've been talking about in all of our other episodes. So what if
it happened.
I know, but like but we've only touched on it a little bit. So let's touch on everything. You know, so you've got the big giant island
Yep.
mothership that
Pull out
comes
your ball
down
of red yarn. Here
and
we go.
you've got the aliens on there that are tasked with getting the people and the inhabitants of the planet to start building things and get more technologically advanced. And who knows how the orichalcum fits into this? Maybe that's just to fuel their dark pyramids, and maybe the dark pyramids is what is, you know, connects the AI. Who
Yeah.
knows?
That's what it is. That's what it is, Tyson. It's that. So they come to the planet. They find the most intelligent thing, which was monkeys,
Yep.
apes, right?
Yep.
They get the monkeys and they train them to. They increase their intelligence, which makes them, evolve
Mm-hmm.
more. They stand upright.
They also give
They
them the
start
love for
something.
gold, so they
They
always want
give them
better
the
things.
love for gold because it's a necessary product,
Yep.
and they get the core calcum because they got to start building dark pyramids underground,
Yep.
power everything, and
Yeah.
get their facilities ready to go. And then they settle on the facilities and they do like enter deep trances until AI catches up and
Yep.
then take over.
That's what I think it is. You know, they're under the water and they're under the ground and they've been preparing for this moment. And it's all been building up to this point where humanity is developing AI. Then, once AI has become ingrained in every fabric of our lives, they just take it over. They merge it with their AI,
It's like
and
that scene from Age of Ultron where he takes over the AI
yep,
system.
yep, exactly. Dude, I mean that would be pretty wild. Then
It
we
would be
would be
wild.
in it. We
It'd be
would
a
be
good
in like
movie.
a. I think Tor. I think it was you actually that told me about the show Falling Skies. Did you tell me about that show? Yeah. Anyways, that show's really cool, but it starts out like obviously they're being invaded by these aliens, and there's like a human resistance against the aliens. Like I feel like we would be in a similar scenario where it's like, okay, the humans that don't have Neuralink and that aren't freaking cyborgs or whatever, those humans are gonna have to be a resistance against the aliens.
Kind of like all the
The
Terminator
thing
movies.
is, like, is the thing. The question is, who is the alien living under the water? Is it the tall grays or is it the reptilians?
Well, I
Because
don't
if it's the
know.
reptilians, it's going to be a hostile takeover. If it's the Greys, it's going to be like a peaceful takeover, and we're going to go to
But
fucking
what if
Nirvana,
I
where AI
mean
takes care of all the problems for us.
what if the Greys aren't that good though? Because what if
What
their
if they
whole
planted the
thing
idea that they're good people?
Yeah, because well, their whole thing is that nuclear war bad, right? But
Hmm.
obviously, nuclear war bad because we haven't developed AI to a point that they can take it over yet. So
Yeah, they don't want us to
they're
blow up the
like, don't
planet. They just want to
kill
take it over.
yourselves before we can take you guys over.
Yeah, you don't
Like,
destroy the planet. We want it. So
yeah, exactly. We're not done with you guys yet. What if it's
I
that
mean, like,
situation?
but it's like you see, but in the same vein, it's just like their technology is so advanced. Why would they have to wait? They could just come out and just like do it if they really wanted
You
to.
would think that, yeah, if they have their own AI, that they could probably just merge it with our technology and
yeah,
have that AI take over all our tech. But maybe they're also waiting for our technology to reach a certain threshold in the tech tree, right? Because maybe it's not worth them having AI take over all our technology at this point, because then they'd still have so much work to do to
It's like
build it up,
the
you
Star
know.
Trek logic. Like we haven't invented space travel, so we can't be interacted with yet.
Exactly, yeah.
Like you
So
haven't reached the AI level yet, so we can't interact with you yet.
right. So
Once
we're
you
we're
guys
just
do.
barely scratching the surface of that, so it's not
But what
really
if we have
worth their
reached that
time or
level because
resources.
now the government is like, hey, there's aliens under the water.
It's
True.
true. There are a lot more whistleblowers coming out and a lot more people that are saying things, a lot more government officials that are
Yeah, but like so
talking
much
about
going on in the
things.
world, people are like, they're just trying to distract us.
There might be some people that are in the government that are like, "Hey, we're getting close to this threshold. We're getting close to like some dangerous territory here, and we need to
Like,
start
yeah,
saying something because
we're gonna
well,
take a big
otherwise,
leap in
that
yeah,
was Joe
advancing in
Rogan's
technology.
theory about the
Guys, you
drones.
guys need
That
to
they
spread
were
the
putting the drones up so people got used to seeing things in the sky. Like
yeah.
the aliens coming down.
yeah. Well, I mean, that is kind of the thing, right? I mean, we're desensitized to a lot of this stuff. I mean, if you see something crazy, you're just like, "Oh, that's a fake video," or "Oh,
Yeah,
it's special
That's
effects," or
AI.
"Oh, it
AI
was
couldn't do
edited,"
that.
or "It was AI," or "Oh, it's
I
just
mean that's
someone's
just like all
drone,"
those.
or "Oh, it's just fireworks." Like
Yeah,
we're always like we have an excuse for every little thing. Like we're definitely reaching a point where it would be plausible for aliens to come down, because even if they're right in front of our face, we're not going to notice, or we're not going to take them
true.
seriously. So, yeah, pretty wild.
All right,
Pretty
let's talk
cool,
about
that.
video games.
Well,
We're
do you have
not done
anything
yet.
else about
We're
the
not done
TikTok?
yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Jeez.
So after told them about the drone, the Tic Tac being at the cat point, they're like, "Well, we need it. We're getting low on fuel. We're gonna go back to the ship." So they go back to the ship, and the second flight that's going out is like, "We're gonna find this thing. We're gonna see what we can do. We're gonna try to get close to it and take pictures and whatever." So they go out and they actually see the Tic Tac, and they try to lock on with their radar, and the Tic Tac actually jams their radar, which is like technically an act of war.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And
Mhm.
and basically that's where the story ends. But I mean, if you want to bring up the video right now so everybody can see the video, that's supposed to be the Tic Tac in that video.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll bring that up. Give me a sec. Um, So yeah, this is from the To the Stars Academy of Arts and Science YouTube page.
Yeah, that's that guy from Blink
This is
182. Right?
Tom DeLonge
Tom
or
DeLonge?
whatever. Yep,
Yeah.
Tom DeLonge. All right, I'll play it.
So does that Blink 182 music playing?
I wonder if he wrote the music for this video. Yeah, I don't
I
know.
know, but he
What
goes
does
into
he
a lot
play in
of.
the band?
Should we pause
he
and
play
read
the
these
guitar?
things? Should we pause and read this real quick?
They can read them.
There's a
Okay.
secondary view, identified aerial phenomenon. It's moving too fast. Whatever. Yeah. Go find the video yourself if you want to read it.
Yeah.
Go do
It's
learn the
got the
source.
thing on there.
This is the only official footage that has been released since that was taken during the 2004 incident, whatever.
And the chain of custody for the documentation.
Captured by Raytheon.
And the F-18 Super Hornet.
Yeah, that's what I worked on.
Another interesting thing about this is they had recently upgraded all their radar systems before all this started happening, so they think a lot of this had to do with the new radar system being able to pick them up, actually.
Huh.
So, yeah. Okay.
TV visual mode. Okay.
So they saw this physically.
4
too,
degrees right of the aircraft axis. Sensors.
Yeah, they were following and they got it with their radar and their flare, which is like a forward-looking infrared camera.
I like that they've
like
got
that.
all these arrow
Camera
boxes telling us what everything says because I can't read that shit. Like at all.
I think it goes in pretty good detail on it. I mean, if you watch the video, the interview with Commander Fravor, he actually plays the video too, and he goes in and talks a lot about the video.
Hot
Let's see.
display designator is in white mode. Hot items are white, cold items are black. Okay.
So I could
They're at
give a
19,990 feet.
So that means that that incident, that object in the center is cold, then, right? Because of the way the infrared works.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
That means hydrogen.
Oh, TV mode. That's right. Okay. Yeah, it's dark. Yeah, it kind of looks like a Zeppelin or something off in the
Yeah.
distance.
Frozen.
Mode resets zoom to 1. Yeah, I mean, that thing's just staying there. It's staying still.
I think they're chasing it. So. 'Cause, like, you can see that it keeps
Yeah, it's
not
locking
being able to
onto
lock
it.
onto it.
Yeah,
keeps
so-
getting blocked off of it.
Right, so there's definitely something there. It's not like they're just seeing things.
Yeah. I mean, they picked us up on the Princeton and other ships too, so it wasn't just the aircraft
Yeah.
picking it up.
Accelerates to the left, out of view. Yeah.
And Matter of Fact said that it was moving so fast that the camera couldn't keep up with it after that. So,
Yeah.
and that's on a fast-moving jet, so that just shows you how fast that thing was going.
Right. Yeah, that's actually pretty wild.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Huh. And it does. I mean, it really does just zoom out of there because it was like a blink of an eye and it was gone off
Yeah.
the screen, and then it clearly went to the left, but I mean, it's out of frame and just out of there. You almost don't even notice it leaving until your brain registers. You're like, oh, it's not even there anymore. What the heck?
I mean, imagine seeing that thing in real life would be crazy. How fast those things are.
For real. Yeah, that's pretty wild.
So it's
It
an
ma-
interesting
it
story.
does make me wonder, like, how involved the government is in this kind of thing, because while there are, these people that saw it, they were doing their exercise and everything, they saw it and whatnot, but there must have been like some level of government official or whatever, Men in Black or something, that knew this was going on too.
That's
you
an
know,
interesting
above
point you bring
them.
up, because I was watching that movie, The Project, which is about UFO black projects and stuff like that, and recovery.
Yeah.
And a senator was asking about this incident, and he went to get the deck logs, which tell about everything that happens on the ship, and they were missing for that time, which is a big deal because deck logs
Oh,
are
really? What the
Yeah.
heck? That's weird. What the
Yeah.
heck? Okay.
They keep pretty
What
good
a
track.
coincidence.
Yeah, seriously.
So I mean, that's pretty weird that happened for that time
For
frame.
that
Like that.
specific time frame too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's like the camera
weird.
turning off when doing testing.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the security cameras turning off right as the guy robs the bank, and then it's like, oh, I don't know what happened. Weird. Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. And like I said, Commander Fravor's a pretty good source. I mean, he's been on
Yeah.
multiple interviews. He's always given the same story. He seems pretty reputable. So
That is pretty wild. I wonder, like, it always makes me wonder too, because when you have these former government officials coming out and giving us information, if the government really is involved and they know stuff, and the Men in Black is involved with our government and they actually know these things and they know what's going on, like, there's only so much information they're going to allow them to say, right? Like,
yeah.
if they're not saying,
Well, that's
you
like with
know,
the big rush thing that he did with the Congress, or the hearing that he had. He
yeah,
couldn't say a lot of the information because they had to go into a secure area because a lot of that stuff is classified. So
yeah, that makes sense. I wonder if those classified meetings, they go in there and they just close the door and there's like Men in Black dudes that are sitting there.
just
They're like standing in the
just standing
corner,
over everybody.
just like, yep. They're like,
Well, the thing is
yep,
that
we're the Men
they
in Black.
requested a skiff, but they wouldn't give them one, which is kind of strange.
Yeah,
I mean, the Congress people, or whoever was doing the hearing, they're like, I now understand you can't tell us too much because we're not in a skiff. We requested one, but we weren't able to get one, which is, I mean, I don't know how often Congress goes in skiffs or secure areas, but I don't
yeah.
think you really deny them to.
Yeah,
they
it
gotta have
seems
classified
weird that they
information.
would be denied. Like, I don't know. Huh.
Yeah, like they didn't want. I mean, like they didn't want him to tell Congress everything because then they'd get in trouble. So
To be honest, though, nowadays, like, and this isn't getting political or anything, but there's clearly a social media aspect to politics now and these politicians, because a lot of them are using social media and they're using, a lot of them are trying to be, um,
Hip
Or-
with
know,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
hip, or they're trying to, I can't think of the word, but they're basically trying to be, they're trying to shock people. Like, they'll say crazy things, or they're
like
always
clickbait kind of
getting into
thing.
the drama and whatnot. Like, honestly, if you're a military official and you're trying to, discuss sensitive, topics like aliens being involved in our
Yeah.
government and whatnot, like, I would have a hard time trusting a lot of our politicians nowadays, because a lot of them are much more interested in, um, just blowing up on social media and stuff. So,
Celebrity.
yeah. So it is kind of sketchy. And it almost kind of sucks, because what if the government really does want to say something and they're like, we really do want to, work on this, but how the hell are we supposed to do this if, no one's going to take it seriously and they're just going to use it for their own personal gain? Like,
Yeah.
where do we go from here, kind of thing. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Weird. But it makes me think that they should just get involved with Elon Musk or something, you know? Like, there you go. Get involved. If you can't go the public route, get involved with the private route.
Yeah. So what do you guys think?
I think it's pretty crazy. I think I don't know. I do think that the AI thing makes a lot of sense. If they were to, if AI becomes like a natural part of our lives almost, then it would make sense for them to just take over our AI. I mean, that's
Yeah.
one of the biggest concerns about AI is cybersecurity, because if it's going to be that important to daily operations and everything else, like, you can completely cripple an entire society just by, glitching out their AI or something, or changing the programming or changing the code.
Yeah.
And
Give it a new objective, like kill everybody or something like that.
yeah, or even just like, maybe you just feed it some different information every so often and it slowly changes the algorithm Like, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Or his political standing.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. But then I do like the idea of, because I've read books about technology and AI and stuff, and they've got, people bring up that concern of cybersecurity and, oh, what if AI takes over the planet and whatnot. But the interesting thing is that there's multiple different AIs, and there's multiple different AIs that are good at certain things, that have been trained at certain things. So you could have one AI that is like designed to take over, take over the world or whatever, but then you could have a whole other AI that's designed to combat that AI and protect people from that AI. And then you've got, then they're going to have to train it and reevaluate and, you know, so I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting. I think there is going to be kind of a good versus bad dynamic when it comes to AI. I mean, there always is, especially with the internet. You think like there's scammer dudes, and then you've got people that are like, cybersecurity experts trying to protect from, phishing scams and things like that for
Yeah.
businesses. And so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how those things develop.
It will be.
And hopefully the aliens don't just take us over when we do get to that point.
Unless they bring like AI that stops scammers.
Yeah, that'd be
Go
good.
for it.
Yeah, they're like, all right, here's the deal. We'll stop all the scammers as long as you give us everything you own. And we take full control of your life. It's like,
Well, that's what the scammers are
okay.
trying to do, anyways. But...
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what they're trying to do.
But as long as they don't get any fucking calls randomly through the day, fine.
Yeah, you stop the robocalls. That's all I care about. Thanks.
Sweet. So you're gonna take everything I have, but you're not gonna call me anytime soon. Wait,
Yeah.
no, we won't call you ever.
You'll take everything I have, but you won't bug me anymore? Awesome. Great. Let's do it.
Good.
Okay. Like the scammers are like, what the hell? Like that's all we had to do? All we had to do is say, give me everything you have, and I just won't even bother you anymore? Like, damn it.
They can't do that. They can't be like, we'll prevent all their scammers from getting you. It's like,
Yeah.
no, you won't.
Like, no.
Like if you give a mouse a cookie, you're just gonna keep on coming back for more.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
Because that's
All
all I
right.
have is a cookie. Don't take my cookie.
You have
Saving
anything
that for the
else
AI
on,
aliens.
on Tic Tac?
No,
Or
that's
should
pretty much
we?
it. Like I said, it was a short story, but it's really interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Lots of interesting questions and theories as to how, what that means and how that ties into everything else that we've talked about in a lot of our other episodes.
All
That's
right,
pretty
we
cool.
feel 8 minutes now.
Okay.
Not that short story, but yeah.
Well, what games have you guys been playing lately?
Path of Exile 2. Pretty
Yeah?
fun. Yeah, nice
How,
Diablo song.
how do you like
You
it
know,
so
I'm
far?
sure a lot of people played it a lot, Path of Exile 1, but I like it a lot. I mean, it's Diablo clone. I like Diablo, so.
Do you think it's going to be better or worse than Diablo 4?
It already looks better than Diablo 4.
Yeah, I like how there's so many classes and things. They got a lot of classes waiting, so I mean, there's gonna be a lot of DLC and stuff coming down the pipe, so that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, they seem pretty. They seem to have a pretty good roadmap, and pretty putting a lot of effort
Plus,
into it. It's really
it's
good.
free. Well, it's going to be free once it's out of beta.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's still in
I don't
early
mind. I
access
don't
right
mind.
now, right? But
Paying for the beta so they can put a little bit more effort into it, get a little bit of money.
Early access, you get to be.
yeah,
the
I was
noobs.
I saw that they had some kind of like big PoE2 kind of, I don't know, presentation or like interview or something recently. And I didn't watch the whole thing, but I was really blown away at just how transparent and open the developers were about, the questions that these people had and that the audience had. And they were like, they were very genuine and open with their development and what they were thinking and their thought process behind everything. And I really respect that in developers because it tells the community that we actually are listening to you and we actually do care about what you guys want, but we're also trying to be good developers and we don't really care about the whole PR bullshit and we're more interested in just creating a good game. Like, I think that that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
Do you like the simplistic nature of Diablo or the more complex nature of Path of Exile?
Um, I like the more complex, I guess, because you can do more with your character. Make them more what
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah. Complex
There's,
mean.
I mean, the skill tree is just crazy how many slots there is, and I
There's a
never
reason
got
why
too
we like
far into it.
classic more than we like retail. Wow.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Cool.
You been playing anything?
Um, I played a little bit of Ascension WoW lately, which is cool. And I've played there's a game that I literally just got yesterday, I think, called The Last Flame. And it's actually pretty cool. It's like a roguelite game, um, auto battler kind of thing. So like there's a whole bunch of different characters that have different abilities and synergies and whatnot, and you get basically you get like a board. It's kind of like an auto chess kind of thing. There's like a board, and you place your guys around, and you've got different types of characters like tanks and melee damage, physical damage dealers, magic damage dealers, healers, shielders, things like that. And you can have five units on the board, and so you get different characters, and as you go through and you do encounters and stuff, you get rewards, and that can be like gear and or blueprints, like recipes and stuff. And basically you put the gear onto your characters, and it's been really fun to just like, I really like the whole theory crafting aspect of it, of just like, ooh, how can I, this guy's got abilities that have to do with summons, like maybe I could try to go down a summon route, and like how can I, I'll recruit other characters that have to do with summons, and the items that I get I'm gonna try and value that. But at the same time, you don't really get to pick and choose exactly what you want. You're limited to the options that they've given you, so it does kind of make every run different, and you have to make the best of it. But it's been really fun. I played that for a couple hours the other day and enjoyed it. I think it's cool too because with those kinds of games, like you can pick it up and do a run and put it down and feel good about it.
Yeah.
And like I used to be the kind of gamer that was super into deep stories and adventures and things like that, but nowadays it's just hard to really sit down and game for like a long extended period of time. Um so I really like these roguelite kind of games and these auto battlers and things like that. I've been more into those lately.
Have you tried Balatro yet?
No, I haven't, but I heard it was a good game. Didn't it get like an award or something?
Apparently, it was nominated for Game of the Year.
I don't like, I'm not super, it looked
It's like
like
a
just a
roguelike
card game for
poker
me.
game.
Yeah, it looked like a
I don't
poker.
understand it too,
Yeah.
but apparently people like it. I mean,
It
nominated
didn't,
for Game of the Year.
yeah, it didn't look appealing to me, but everybody's
Like,
saying good things about it, so I don't know.
yeah, like people are like people got I have Steam and my Steam friends keep on playing it. And I'm like, what the fuck?
I was really
They're like, we
shocked to
really
see
like this.
that
It's
it
like,
got like Game of the Year or something, because I had never heard of it until that point. And I
it
was like,
doesn't even
what the heck is this?
sound
It doesn't sound
cool.
appealing to me at all. Like I'm
Like,
not,
can you do you even have to
so
play the game? Can
I
you just
don't
like
know.
get deck of cards and actually like use the system for it to play
Right,
your
like
own game?
what's so good about it? I have no idea.
I think that the thing that's really selling it is that it's like really good for Steam Deck, I guess. So
Oh,
people can just
really?
take it anywhere to play it.
I do like the
Well, it's
Steam
just a
Deck.
card game. Of course, it's going to be good for Steam Deck.
Yeah, I play a lot more on my Steam Deck than I do my computer nowadays. But
Yeah,
yeah,
the nominees this year are weird.
were they? I didn't watch.
It's like there's one with like one was a DLC was nominated also, and
A DLC? What the heck?
yeah, the tree game from
Oh, for Elden Ring, Shadow of the Oak
yeah,
Tree or whatever.
yeah, that
Yeah,
one was
I have seen a
nominated.
lot of people play that. I do want us to do a co-op, because apparently they updated the co-op mod to
Yeah, that's what we were
include
waiting for.
the
Because
thing.
it didn't seem to work last time.
I don't remember if I purchased the DLC. I don't even know if I did. I think I was waiting.
I'm still on my wish list. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I didn't purchase it. I don't remember. Huh. Well, something that we'll have to do one day. That'd be fun.
There's another one that was people that were upset about, but I forget what it was.
Hmm.
Because it's like oh, it's a remake. They're upset that one was a DLC and the other one was a game remake. So it's just like,
I mean,
but it was Final
what?
Fantasy, which
Yeah,
is like
Final Fantasy.
totally different from the first game. Actually, like just the same
Yeah.
like
Well,
skeleton.
and it's a remake. It's not like it's a remaster or something, you know.
Yeah.
If it was a remaster, I would understand people being upset because it's
Like,
like
yeah,
you didn't
just
actually
just
make
the
a
same game.
It's the
You just
same
updated the
game.
graphics.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like they updated the graphics, they updated the mechanics, they updated the story.
yeah,
It's just like a whole different thing. Like I said, it's just like they retold the story with a
and the
different game.
DLC, honestly, like if you've watched any content on Shadows of the Erd Tree or whatever, like it's almost a new game. Like I mean, there's so much content.
I gotta side
in
with them
there.
there. It's like it's a DLC that should be its own category itself. Like
Yeah, but it was like
DLC of the year.
I mean, as
'Cause it's
far
not
as
a game,
games are
technically.
concerned, it's enough content in there that it could almost be its own game.
Well,
right?
if it was like Shadow of the
A smaller
Shadow,
game,
or like
but
if it was part 2, it would be fine. But it'd be like Overwatch part 2, so I guess it's the same thing. Like, hey, we just
yeah,
put the game up again and call it part 2 so we can try to get game of the year this year.
yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I have a hard.
It doesn't
time
matter.
with
It didn't
that
win.
because
So-
it didn't win, but
It's
it was
Astro
definitely
Boy.
popular. Astro
But
Boy
people think-
won.
Yeah.
What the
Which is a
hell is going
PlayStation
on?
game. People think it's like rigged or something, but it's like,
Yeah.
no, yeah, it's a fucking it's an award show. They're all rigged. So.
Yeah, right. That's weird.
But it gives you a good list of like games that you could probably look at.
Yeah, that's
Just
cool.
Check out. So I'm not gonna check out Astro Boy. I have like no.
No, I've got no interest in checking out Astro Boy. No.
But the other games
Never
on the
got
list,
into
yeah,
Astro
they
Boy.
look pretty good. Like they got the Metaphor, which is like a JRPG, and then they have the
Yeah, I heard about
one
that
with the monkey guy, the Monkey King.
Oh yeah,
That looks
the
really good.
Wukong.
Dark Souls like one. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
surprised to find out that was actually an indie game. You know, it wasn't made by like some big AAA studio or anything. It was
Dude,
made,
like
it was an
China's
indie
like
game.
bringing out some good ass games now.
It's pretty wild.
They're making
yeah.
us look horrible, which is fine because we are horrible.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
'Cause-
fine.
I don't want to get
Hopefully-
into it, but like
Hopefully it makes us come out with better games, you know, the pressure. But I guess we'll see. All right,
Yeah.
what else?
Watch anything? Any good anime lately?
Nope, haven't been. Oh, but I have watched. There's a new series, a new spin-off series of Dexter. And so what I
I saw
did
that.
is because it ends, there's 8 seasons on Netflix, but then there was another, I thought there was a 9th season that came out and it was only on like Showtime or something. But it wasn't
Mhm.
actually a 9th season. It was a different series. So I was never able to find the 9th season. So I was really
Mhm.
confused because it was a different series. And so I ended up finding that series and I watched it. And then they just recently came out with a new series that I think they're still releasing episodes for. And because I've watched a few episodes, but it didn't really end right. So I think that I don't think it's over quite yet. But yeah, so then I've been watching that. I got all caught up on those things, and man, that was one of my favorite shows for a long time. I loved Dexter.
Dexter's a
And,
good show.
Yeah, so that's been really cool for me. Other than that, I haven't really been watching much of anything.
I watched. Tori, do you remember that anime you suggested to me? Do you remember what it's called? Like Vivi something something.
What?
No? Yeah, you sent me a list of animes that a lot of people don't watch but are really good.
Yeah.
You don't remember the name of it though.
No.
It's called like Vivi, like Fluorite something, but it's a weird one. It's weird. You don't think it's gonna be that good, but it actually turned out pretty good. I like that one. That was decent. And then I I don't know if you watched Solo Leveling yet.
Yeah, I did watch that one. Yeah.
They came out with a second season, so they're starting to release episodes of that. So
Okay.
that's
Cool.
good. I mean, Solo Leveling's a good anime.
Yeah, I like
Also,
that.
that Creature Commandos on HBO or DC. They're
Mhm.
still releasing episodes
Okay.
of it. That's a pretty good anime too. It's an American one. So
Oh,
I think
okay.
who wrote it, Tori? Was it James Gunn?
Yeah, it's James Gunn.
Oh, okay.
But
Interesting.
That's
last
pretty
week
good.
was the final.
Oh,
of
was
the
it?
season.
I need
Yeah.
to finish that up then.
Wow. All right. Well, I'll have to check that out. That sounds cool.
Season 2's on the works.
Nice. All right. Well, I say we wrap it up there then.
Yeah.
That was a cool episode. Like talking about the Tic Tac and all that stuff. If you are
Good episode to come
watching,
back with.
yeah, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. We are going to be changing our time to Wednesdays. Is that right? Moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
should be.
yeah, Wednesdays 3 p.m.
Until something else happens.
Yep. So
We'll keep you updated on the Instagrams.
we'll keep you guys updated on that, but make sure to hit the notification bell so you know when we go live. And yeah, leave a comment. Let us know what you think about this episode and the Tic Tac incident.
Also,
And
start trying to post on Patreon.
yeah, and do more. We're
Yeah.
gonna start doing more shorts and stuff too. But yeah, so hit all the buttons, do all the YouTube
Stream
stuff,
games. Stream
and
games.
we'll see you guys next week.